Hi guys. Um, I'll see. I already talked about some of the stuff as far as bullying. I just saw something online there. There's direct at me. It's a psychic kind of message in there. Um, when you're seeing people that are doing bullying and they're doing bullying as a group, okay, right away, they're weak. They're not powerful people. You know who they are. Okay. The minute they try to do it as a group, the minute they start to get into mental warfare, you know exactly who they are. If they are trying to pull bullying towards somebody and they start going into mental warfare, let's say they start doing it as a group, start bullying that sort of stuff, you know they are weak and you know that they have realized that you are strong, you are probably more powerful than they are, and they're trying to go and they're they're making a point of throwing in mental warfare. So things with bullying, it could be things of say somebody's bullying somebody and then they're trying to throw in things like, oh, you wouldn't do that. You know, you never do that back. Oh, you wouldn't do it. Throwing in things of trying to go at the person mentally where, let's say they know they were bullying, they know they're doing a lot of harm, and then they didn't want the person they're bullying, who is more powerful, to turn around and hit back in some way, shape, or form. So they might get a group bullying. Uh, they might start throwing in mental warfare. The stuff I've seen in the past 4 years of people, holy fuck, like really fucking weak people. Women running off and getting men, trying to get men involved in pulling bullying, abusive shit, hiding behind the guy while they're taking shots, stuff online that they're trying to hide behind other people, get other people to take shots, using spiritually using intention for posts, all while hiding behind that. And then I'd be making a post describing what people were doing. There was I described it on one of the in a bunch of these videos now. What I've seen out of people, Steve Harvison directly actually had posts where it was talked about doing directly as mental warfare, and then there was mental warfare. There was stuff posted on Instagram, on Facebook, a couple of different areas directly. I have seen people try to do stuff, hurt people's sleep. I have seen stuff try to put spells on people while they slept. Wake up and they're trying to like dump on people or put markers, like some of the stuff that was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then some of these same people wanted the person that they were bullying to try to turn around and say things about them, to turn around and try to make it look like they were the bully, trying to make it look that way. But meanwhile, this was Brandon Jacobs, his wife Chelsea Smith, Jacqueline Mulick, their friend Jen there. They wanted me to call them losers. I felt that psychically. They wanted me to say that. Wanted me to throw out something about Brandon being gay. Different things there to make it look like, oh, he's bullying, whatever. There's a difference between you bullying people versus you're getting psychic attacked. You're having people try to bully you as a group and threaten you as a group, and you're saying, fuck this. I'm just going to rip into these people. That's quite a big difference. Or you're going to hit back at somebody because they're fucking bullying, or they're attacking you or abusing you, and they have a group together harming you. Literally, I had a car had $2,000 worth of damage kicked into it because of Chelsea Smith. Yeah, I was having it walking my dog, having stuff try to fuck with me and bully. She was doing that. Having it have fake websites made up towards you. That's all bullying. That's all toxic, abusive shit. There was literally, there was a gym that went in Sherwood Park, Alberta, where it was called Chop Shop, and they had a post made about how you'd condition an animal with a bell, and they were trying to do that. Yeah, that's what do you call that? That's all fucking bullying. They didn't want me to go on and list all the stuff they did either. I thought about that. Write a list and just post a list, and then you can. I felt it of like, oh God, like don't do that, because I'd be able to name it for what it is, for who they really are. There was that. Amber Colbert tried to do this past couple of years. Went right into darkness. Started like poking at my back psychically. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Tried to entangle with my foot in the tub. Gail Burns and Mary Folio. That has been over a year, and the amount of people, amount of posts they had made, throwing stuff at me, it was like, you got me. All the while they were fucking hiding, because that's who they are, because they're not powerful people, because they're fucking weak people. So it goes from one thing where literally it's like, I'm not going to tolerate how it's being spoken to, and what was thrown at me. The next, holy shit, now here's this person, and all these different people start posting shit at me. And I was like, what the fuck? They literally had, at one point I said with the one video, when they knew they were doing bullying, and it was thrown, the psychic message from areas, it wouldn't matter if you killed yourself, because celebrities have mental health issues, also can have mental health issues. As in, if what we're doing for bullying and trying to harm you, like pull stuff towards you, that it wouldn't matter if you killed yourself. That was a psychic message that came through on a different post. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, yeah, that came through. Oh yeah, like they put into different, oh yeah, made fake training, like bullshit trainings where they took names of people that abused me with spiritual warfare and stuff and threw in there and made jokes about it. Then they had Jay Shetty and Kyle Cease make a post about men's mental health after they were taking part in group, not those two at the time, but group bullying shit towards me. Group warfare, spiritual warfare, all that sort of stuff towards me. As in, hey, we know it's really, they knew it was very abusive, all that, they knew what they were doing. And then they turned around and, oh, here, go make you two guys make a post about men's mental health as we're directly doing shit to go at this guy. Yeah. I said it before, and I didn't post the video, but I've dealt with bullies in this life. I don't respect that at all. And as far as when I say, if somebody is, say, standing up to a group and someone tries to turn, this is what I found online, and this was Gabby Bernstein, tried to throw bullying about my neck, random thing, and they had an influencer. She went to with, what was the guy's name? The guy who, 30 Seconds to Mars, that lead singer. She's a redhead, lives in New York, went to the, what was it? Went to the one thing with Met Gala. Was it Met Gala with him? And they had the cat outfits. Anyways, they got her to do a post. It was supposed to be mocking my neck. And there's different things mocking there. I was like, you fucking kidding me? Like, started to get into things like that. Started to do reviews and just, like, throw things at it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So, spiritual warfare, spiritual abusive shit, but throwing bullying in there. And, I mean, I have a screenshot on my phone of a show they incorporated stuff in, throwing things at me. A whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, why the fuck would they think they could act like that? So, what I just saw, like, a little psychic message towards me is through YouTube. If you ever see that where somebody's trying to bully and then they turn around almost like, well, you're not the type of person that would hit back. You're not the type of person that would like, oh, I know we're doing this towards you. We're causing all this harm. But I know you're like a nice guy or a nice person. And then I'm like, I've been remembering my past that I ended up punching multiple bullies in the face and choking people out and all this sort of stuff that like when I was like, I've had enough. When I had enough, I said, fuck this. Situations like that, I talked about in a different video, there was female bullies I walked right up to. I worked at a gym at the time. The one woman was, how she acted towards people, I walked right up to her. I was like, yeah, you're not going to act like that. You're not going to be like that, any of us. And right away, she like dropped. There was a couple. I hadn't really thought about it, like, whoa, like I definitely, and I mean group stuff, oh god, yeah. I know group attack, group warfare, spiritual stuff, yep. I actually had during my spiritual awakening, I was really taught how to fight. All this sort of stuff, like literally, as far as boom, here's how you fight. Oh yeah, like spiritually, like this is not something that everyone's gonna be. This stuff, like I'm a shaman. This is not stuff that is normal for people during a spiritual awakening. Of like, by the way, here's how you do this, fighting this. I'm like, oh okay, I guess I gotta know this. Yeah, I mean, I don't respect it when I see people trying to. It's one thing if there's an issue and it's online, whatever. But when you have other people making posts, taking shots, and they're hiding, knowing that they're hiding, doing the shots, and having someone else do it, and they're using intent, and they're doing all this sort of stuff that I'm like, in a way of like, oh, we know this is going to bother you, or we're trying to bother us, we're trying to have this intent to do this at you, but they're going to try to do it through other people, or they have groups together and doing that, and the whole time I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, and I know that's like, so just seeing that there is like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. When somebody, I know they've shown me who they are. They've shown me who they are. They're really fucking weak people. And those same sort of people would be like, now you're gonna deal with, okay, like, what was it? I heard Gabber say there was a thing of like, say it to my face, and I saw that in the one post. I was like, this is what's interesting. If you ever see a group of people trying to bully, and at any point they do that, well, now you just go, like, one of us, we'll do this one-on-one. It wasn't one-on-one, and the intent wasn't to have one-on-one. What it was is try to go at the person as a group, and then have then we'll just say you'll be one of them. It never was one-on-one. And then at that point, if you're like, fuck that, because it wasn't one-on-one. It isn't. And the intent is to try to wear at the person, and then go like, okay, no, it's just going to be you and I. It's like, it never was that way. You tried to wear on the fucking person with a group. Yeah, so it's a bunch of scared, weak, fucking scared people that got together knowing that they're up against somebody who's a lot more powerful than they are, and they really, if they go right away, holy fuck, I need a group. What does that say? Okay. And then, are they getting right into mental warfare? What does that say? Are they making a point of throwing that in there? It's like, well, oh yeah, see, if there was a post, what is it? Something about a point of directly saying, go at the person's mind. He's exactly who I pointed him out to be. Exactly. I was like, I know the level of harm that guy could fucking do to like somebody. And I kind of went, I'm not going to say it that way. I can pick up on this. I can pick up on very easily of like, well, this, and this person. And I went, people need to know with it, with that stuff. If it's to the point, and this happened out of some of those ones out in New York, where they were trying to push stuff of like, well, how do you describe it? I already described it as far as when they start to have celebrities say different stuff. And it's like, oh, yeah, what do you think about that? No, we celebrities, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. I'm touched by God, like literally, full on. I do miracles. I've been doing miracles for years now, and I'm seeing this of like, they don't know what I've had to deal with. They don't know things that my spiritual awakening. They don't know the things in this life. How do I describe it? Like I've started to make the video. I'm supposed to talk about miracles on a podcast. I know I've gotten into some of it more. Yeah, I've seen what's happened to people that tried to take shots at me in this life. I've seen and I know, and I was told or I shown, or like, by the way, now they're going to have to go through this, this, and this, or don't worry about it, or something happens. That's how it is. That's how I find that in my life. I always, yeah. So the warfare in the past couple of years, I know what a bunch of people are going to have to go through, and it's not a smart choice to try to pull this towards me. It really isn't, especially if I see someone that goes and takes shots threatening towards a family member's finances of mine. Sherelle Moore, my mom was logging into her online banking, and there was a little psychic kind of threat thrown in there at me. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That happened. Gab Bernstein threw one at my mom, and it was trying to manipulate. I won't get into full specifics, but it was almost trying to see if to do one of these at me and new stuff about lowering. Was it about health insurance? Was it about insurance? No, I think it was about health insurance. Yeah, to try to like manipulate. That sounds like holy fuck. Double check this with the universe, where you're talking to somebody and you're like, holy fuck. They literally they were trying to manipulate. Oh yeah, tried to do that to a parent. Like that happened. And as I'm standing there, I'm hearing. I was like, the whole thing was doing one of these and wanted to feel like, hey, I can just do this towards your family. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So that's two people directly tried to say stuff around something financial. And I was like, what? What? This is stuff that's happened. This is stuff that has actually fucking happened. Double check that with the universe. It was about she considered lowering her health insurance. I believe it was my mom. Life insurance, sorry. And it was all like very, very, I was like, out of New York. Oh yeah. I had to clear markers and links off of them that came from New York. Yeah. Trying to throw shots at me through videos, including even people who are celebrities, in a way of like, well, what do you get? One of these, oh, you're going to say something? Oh, if you go and you say something, oh, now we've involved this person, this person, this person, this person. How does that? I even pick up that Mary got at least asked the advice. What was it? 48 Laws of Power author? She asked his advice, did she? Did she ask his advice on any of this at any time? It just, anyone that would follow that, they are also showing who they are. They're showing who they are. 48 Laws of Power. It is an entire book about how people who don't have a lot of power could try to manipulate into hoping they can get some power. That's what the entire book is. My brother got that book over 10 years ago. I think he was told about it, and I read maybe a tiny bit of the pictures, and I kind of put it down and went, this is kind of ew. It tells me right away if somebody's trying to use that stuff. The entire book is about manipulating. If somebody is actually at a high level spiritually, they'd look at that book like, ooh, yeah, that's what the reaction would be. So yeah, I also saw they were incorporating the word, what was it? Confusion. Yeah. So there was Gabby Bernstein, Steve Hardison was doing it, had different people posting online. That's just abuse, and that's bullying. I found it kind of fucked, considering Steve got bullied as a kid. he also went through some major fucking abuse from his cousin who bit a chunk off his ear. He pinned him down and bit a chunk off his ear. And Steve, I said before, grew up without a dad, all this sort of stuff, and literally in the first, was it like couple weeks of any interaction there, he threw a shot at me through one of his clients, and I was like, what the fuck? I saw it early on. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah, he showed pretty quickly who he was, and I went, oh, what's going on? What's this? Yeah, so I have seen now stuff out of New York, out of California, and people connected to spiritual groups doing that. Arizona, Europe, which would have been Iceland, so it'd be Sra more. People that are literally throwing stuff at you. Well, while I was clearing stuff from the planet, I'm like, I want all this stuff to clear, sending love and light to this, like big shifts, helping quite a bit of stuff. And some of them even knew some of the stuff I was doing to help, like pretty big stuff, okay? And they still turned around and were just right there trying to pull bullying. Yeah, like walking down. Oh yeah, I was at a Staples store. I think I was printing off a copy of something, and Chelsea Smith and her friends tried to manipulate and push energy at me, and I felt like they were trying like direct bullying psychically. And there was literally like psychic threats from them as a group about some of them trying to pull harm towards me. They were trying to push stuff about her boyfriend's truck at me, so tried to get me to notice white trucks that are like his truck to try to scare me. I was meditating in this one area, this one nature area, and they tried to manipulate so that like someone would walk up another guy and they'd try to push like, oh yeah, you're gonna think something's gonna happen with some random stranger. I'm like, what? What the fuck? They were trying to do that as bullying and mental warfare because she has a fear of the unknown. And she's afraid now because she took part in group attacks towards me and bullying and threats and all this toxic, abusive shit. She's worried what she's going to have to go through now. And I know what she's going to have to go through now. I was told different things and I picked out different things. It's like, well, that's interesting. She's going to have to deal with. And I saw it. And I also saw certain things energetically that she already happened to her that she might not have realized. And I saw it. And I went, oh, wow. So yeah, if people are willing to get together in a group and they're making fake websites or they're trying to use abuse you've been through with narc abuse at you, spiritual, like full-on people. And then here's the other one, that they wanted to have it turn around. So this happened online. Gabby Bernstein was making psychic suggestions at me. So I'd be looking at people and then it would be like suggesting that I say something about the person. So imagine you're looking, this did happen. I'm looking and it's like say something about that person's body, like throw a shot. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? This happened. This actually happened. As in, she threw shots. They even put in posts to try to kind of like twist things as far as they were throwing out direct bullying, abusive shit. And then they kind of tried to twist things. Even as I'm talking, there was going to be a narrative of them wanting me to mention, talk about it as bullying, not just spiritual warfare abuse. And the whole narrative thing, that's a Mary Folio thing out of New York. Of like, oh, let me use that. Yeah. And somehow so yeah, looking at Instagram and there's like suggestions being pointed out of like, yeah, mock that person's body, whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck? That did happen. Yeah. Meanwhile, it went from, it could have been her just respond how something I said as far as like, look, I'm not gonna be treated like that, as far as how she acted. And then it turned into over a year of shit where I was like, holy crap. They were trying to find names of people that abused me and use that against me. And Steve Arson did that too. There was a post of KFC posts. Steve had a Mr. Olympia do that. There was posts about my dad, that my dad went through sexual trauma when he was a kid, and they were posting stuff saying Family Guy, and my dad's name was Peter, and they went joking about Peter saying being molested, and different things that happened. Oh yeah, like that is, what do you call that? Interesting. So what's gonna come back to them? I've actually seen people that tried to pull, that were known bully, like had pulled shit with this, and then I saw what happened to them. I saw it. Yeah. Or I was also told, oh, by the way, you know these guys that used to be like this. By the way, here's what they had to go through. And I'm like, oh, or I saw it, or something would happen. Yeah. So what I saw with, so far, yeah, seeing that, like how Steve was acted, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That I was like, wow. With some of the stuff, Pump, the guy, he says he's loving kindness. I've seen so much fake shit there with him. He said the thing about, oh, don't be people being takers. So much fake shit. He was trying to trick people out of knowledge to giving knowledge, like to steal. That's knowledge. They're trying to, yeah. That was in there. What was that? What else was in there? There was a bunch, and I saw it early on. I was like, whoa. So there's who you saw, Steve, in the physical versus the non-physical. Um, and I mean, yeah, seeing some of that, and I was not saying this is what it's really intended to put spells, new tries remove all curses, hexes, spells, witchcraft, bad medicine, black magic. Thank you. People trying to throw spells is that too. I already said Jill Misborg was trying to bully throw programs. Heather Grazer did that, tried that. Elise from Newfound Soup tried to do that. Witchcraft, all this sort of stuff. Steve Hardison with some of his manifesting. Part of that was black magic in there. Yeah, so I'll say spiritual warfare with bullying that would have been thrown in there too. Um, yeah, like at that Staples Center there, I directly felt like tried to fuck with me there. Tried to fuck with. There was 2 jobs during COVID. I went to where I had stuff directly to do spiritual warfare and bullying at me. Oh yeah, this has been 4 years of like spiritual warfare. If somebody's trying to get other people at you to try to bully or they're lying, this is one with like that Narc and Sook. Tried to get other people angry. Let's say if they tried to get people angry at you to take part in abuse or bullying. Yeah. And then it, like, imagine that, and then it turns out it's like, actually, that person was pushing all this abuse at me. You know, it's really fucking, yeah. That Narc and Sook was pushing harm at me. And I was trying to pass that along to those 2 in New York of like, look, some of that stuff you saw, that wasn't me saying that. And what did they find out? They found out, yeah, that was I was right about that, and they still turned around and tried to pull stuff towards me. Yeah, oh yeah, I think that might have been around the time they came up with the one training, and they were trying to joke around, and they also got somebody that she was a well-known manifestation teacher. It's a lot older. I don't even know her name right now. Yeah, just really toxic shit. Really toxic shit. You ever see that where people are trying to cause harm, but they're trying to make it look like, no, this is innocent, no, whatever. Seeing, like, it's like there is the types of, do I say bullies or people that are abusers, or, and I don't know if I'll say abusers, but like, there's different types. There's different types. And if there is people that are being abused or bullied, and you turn around and you go at one of these people and you rip into them, and depending on what it is, if it's physical and somebody's trying to physically harm you and you defend yourself, that's one thing. If it's verbal, whatever, spiritual, yeah, just if you see them at all, ever try to turn around and point at you when they have a group of people together, and you're like, wait a minute, you guys, you attacked as a group, and you're going to try to make it look like I'm the bully when you guys were trying to harm as a group, and they try to bully as a group, try to threaten as a group, or they're threatening you with a bunch of different stuff, or going at your family, all this sort of stuff, and they're doing it as a group. At that point, I'd be like, if they're doing that towards someone and they're doing it as a group, you have every right to turn around and be like, well, guess what? You threaten me, or you threaten my family, you're trying to harm me, whatever, you hit back. You can hit back. You can defend yourself. I had that Narc and Sook tried to bully me with Dark Witchcraft out of Sook, BC. Tried to take runs at my car. I was already at Galactic Conscious, and I hit right back at her. Tried to bully me, tried to send Dark Witchcraft at the area I was living. Tried to bully me out of the area. I hit right back. She ended up bawling her eyes out in her car at the side of the road. And it wasn't physical how I hit back. I hit right back at her. I was already Galactic Conscious. I said, fuck this. I'm not going to be treated like that. Tried to run, like, taking runs at my bumper. I had to talk to the cops at one point. And literally I was looking out the window, which was sending like dark wishes at me. Yeah. Oh yeah, for no reason. Just tried to push bullying. Yeah. And I hit back. I said, fuck this. I'm not gonna tolerate that. Yeah. Yeah, there is, yeah, some of the stuff in the past couple years I've seen that people went right into shadow, right into darkness, and I saw how they're acting with some of this, and I was like, what the fuck? Seeing that with Steve Hardison, I was like, so he's supposed to be somebody that people were, how much like $200,000 clients, that sort of stuff, and seeing early on how he was acting, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I already picked out a ton of stuff in this book that I read, but some of the stuff he pulled out, and I kind of like, what? What's going on here? Yeah, some of the bullying there, but this would not just be bullying. This would also be, from my experience, spiritual warfare. Yeah, so if it's done spiritually, that's the point. To the point of people attacking everything, that's spiritual warfare. It's not just, it's throwing bullying in there. But I think I might have put it out there on a couple of videos, like I said before, dealing with some female bullies who I dealt with that, which was kind of strange because I found when I stood up to female bullies, they almost had this sort of like something shifted. Maybe they went back to their feminine. And I said like putting them back in their place. And what happened when I was saying that? They actually had a show with Maggie Q out of California, a new show, and this was directly connected to Mary Folio. They had them throw in the term they felt like the killer was putting them back in their place, and it was talking related to, get this, they did this as mental warfare. That's warfare. They mentioned some of putting the woman back in their place, and the women were killed. Okay? In other words, you go and you say putting someone back in their place, you're going to remember what we had posted in that show. This was done, and that's going to, they call it anchoring. Okay, it's a manipulation technique. We'll throw in something there, you'll see it, and now this will kind of influence something over here because we just said that. It's a manipulation technique. So it's like, oh, you're going to see, you're going to put that woman back to her place or that guy back to her place. Specifically, this would be, say, woman, and they're like, whoa, that's abusive. Because remember, we made that post, so that means that woman would be killed, or you're talking about murdering her. And I kind of went, what? They did that. Double check this with the universe. This is the level of stuff. You know what Steve Arterson did? He would get his nails done with nail polish sometimes, all that. There was a post that was directed, and I saw it. There was a little boy that dressed up like a girl, and he was being bullied. Okay? He did it with that, and he did it with Stephen Colbert with his ear. Okay, so first I'll tell you this one. So it was in a movie, so you'd see it. You're like, oh my god, this little boy ran in, he was crying, they bullied him for dressing up like a girl. Everyone go out there and defend this kid. So now, if it's like, if you joke in any way about Stephen wearing nail polish or any of that, it's like, remember that kid in that movie? Yeah, remember that kid that got bullied, who is not even connected to Steve at all, but now you saw it. So now, yeah. Remember that? Now you go to say that. That's called anchoring, okay? And when you're seeing manipulation techniques like this, I just look and it's just like, what? What? Are you kidding me? Through cause and effect, through universal law, okay? This will just come back at the period. I don't even have to do anything with it. I could just like, oh wow, see it, know what they're doing, and like, oh fuck. That's all coming back to you guys. He also did it where it was pointed about, I guess Stephen Colbert had, I don't know if it was a birth, something happened at birth, but he had something up with his ear. So if anything was thrown back at Steve Arterson about anything but his ear, all of a sudden, look at that Steve over there. Yeah, there's something with his ear. So if you say something about Steve Arterson, then you're saying something about that other Steve. That involves him somehow. This is another thing. So imagine that. Oh, the other one was Steve Arterson. Oh, I'm a beast. I get it. I'm a beast. That was thrown in at one point. So if you ever see something that's bullying and pulling shit towards people, or pulling that towards you, and then you confront them on it, bring it up, and it's like, oh, I get it, I'm a B. Or they sing something to give themselves, like, something to avoid consequences. But there will always be consequence. There will be a cause and effect of like, oh, I get it, I'm a beast. You know, the person was being toxic towards you, and you're like, oh, what a, you know, asshole, or whatever. You're saying it, and like, oh, I get it. Or they might go, I get it, I'm an asshole. I've heard that one too. Amber Colbert is that one. Out of Hamilton, Ontario, of like they're trying to have an out, or they're trying to avoid getting consequences. I've seen this with Mary Forleo. As far as the consequences, she's to the point with her. It's like, imagine somebody going to go. It's almost like there's a does not want consequences. Period. Is kind of what I pick up. I noticed that out of certain people with this of. How to describe it with her, how she does her manipulation. She and Steve, I'm not going to combine them together, I'll separate that, but she's built an image, and she's been doing that for a long time. So imagine building a certain image of, no, And even I feel this, if I say good girl or any of that, that would be thrown back in some way or used a certain image of like, no, she's just like this, or you could say good girl or good woman or whatever. No, she's just like this with manner, jokes, whatever. So that when she does go and pull something, well, Mary went, well, would Mary do that? Come on, look at her, look how she is. Meanwhile, it's like she has been doing that. She did say that. That is who she is. You guys were seeing surface. You were not seeing the entire full person. You were not seeing the shadow. You're not seeing the darkness, seeing the stuff I know she did or know she did spiritually, which she did too. Okay? And then Steve, oh, if you guys are just looking at the surface, oh, he's this coach, and oh, it's just Steve, he's out there, and they're showing the pictures in the books of who they say he is, and all this, oh, he's loving kindness, all this, and I very early on saw like, whoa, no, like all the things, oh, he's loving kindness, no, holy fuck, he literally was using names of people I went through full-on abuse with at me to harm me, of like, oh, you like bodybuilding? Let me use a former Mr. Olympia to harm you. Okay, I'm going to say something about, and it relates to a name of somebody who tried to pull abuse at me. Oh, no, just get that on a bunch of them. Now get like get some stuff posted on social media that you're going to look at it like, oh my God, what the fuck? Why is that on there? Yeah. And then make a point of mentioning that, oh, even whenever, just going at the person's mind, it was directly mentioned. Came from Arizona, Steve. Yeah, and it's interesting. Birds of a feather fly together. One of his clients, JP, I noticed with his stuff about philosophy and certain things he wrote, he wanted to incorporate things like double speak, double think, which is direct mental warfare. Birds of a feather flock together. Steve, I kind of feel like he's one of those people who like read up and know about some of this stuff, and it's like certain people are waiting for a chance to try to use some of it. And I already picked out it before. I said some of it. Just if someone's to the point of reading up on spiritual warfare, of like, oh, double speak, double think. Oh yeah, how do I use this? How can I take this and use this against a person? Really, like, just go with them mentally, really harm them. That is telling me quite a bit of who they are. And they're using 48 laws of power. That's telling me quite right away. You know they're extremely manipulative. Stay the fuck away from them. Period. They're using that. You see it right. Oh, they're really stroking your ego to try to get knowledge. Oh, they're doing the don't outshine the master of like trying to build you up, but they're kind of, oh, let me see if I can get some knowledge from you. Oh, just keep stroking, or there's all different stuff with it, and I can pick it out so easy. I'm like, oh my God, like, ugh, which is showing me what's their calling. It's showing me quite a bit of like, whoa, that's who they are, right? Okay, there's their shadow, there's their darkness, where's their vibration, all this sort of stuff. What level of spirits they, and I'm kind of like, ugh. In other words, with that, using those laws, it's taking people who don't lack power or don't know about power, and they're like, well, if I manipulate, if I go into, they go into, in this case, they're talking about, it could be business, it could be work, whatever, with people, and trying to use different techniques to really pull stuff, then you can maybe get some power over them, or not even to have some power over them. Maybe they're trying to use that to get power. Okay, when you learn about power, and you learn like what I've learned quite a bit with some of that stuff spiritually, all that, like it's not like you're like, oh, I'm gonna take that person's power. I'm gonna try to like manipulate them in some way. Then I'll try to have power over you, or throw certain shit in there. And I'm cringing when I look at that. I even cringed over 10 years ago when I saw that book. I was like, ew, what the fuck? Who the fuck's reading that? Why would you use that? It's like, oh yeah, just like get in there, and you want to move up in the workplace, just try to manipulate some of these people, and you'll move up. And I was like, oh great, so through cause and effect, that's coming back. Great. Oh yeah, manipulate these people and you move up, and then just use these for that. And I was like, yeah, that's coming back. Cool. Awesome. And it showed me right away who they are for power and everything. I was like, they're just manipulative. Mary, extremely manipulative. It's just how she does it. That's the thing. How certain women are doing this, okay? I could point it out. I don't know how I could get into that at some point, but it is this stuff of like being able to really see some of these people and how they're doing it. And I'm literally just I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, because they can do it of like a, hey, and it's like, I know they're manipulating. What do you mean? And it's like at the heart and the sacral manipulating, or what? I'm just joking, and we made this, and I'm using intention, and I know the surface looks really innocent and all this, but energetically, I'm like, oof, I know exactly the manipulation they're doing. Oh, oh, I can feel it. Okay, I can pick up on it. If I say somebody's extremely manipulative, they're very, very manipulative. She's very manipulative. So I wonder when this came up for her. Yeah, and I mean it. Very, very, very manipulative. So was Gabby Bernstein. There was some Steve's up there too. But I would say one of the most Jill Misborg would be one of the most manipulative I've come across. She even identifies as a narcissist. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this isn't just a bullying thing; it's also spiritual warfare. People pulling. So I said it before. It's like there is when you can. I can pick up on it. I can pick up on people. I see the person, fully see what they're doing. Um, so yeah. So as far as the bullying, I already talked about some of that. I mean, guys, there is spiritual bullying. There's mental, emotional bullying. Um, yeah, projecting onto people in their bed. That came. Steve listed different times he had it posted online and tried to do projections and stuff about messing with sleep. That's who Steve is. Yes, he is that. That's who he is. He is not loving kindness and all that. No, God. Oh my God. Seriously. And I've said this in multiple different ways. And then I'm like, So who you guys saw and when there is how to describe it, they weren't seeing all of them, okay? They were seeing certain things with them. And I have, some of the stuff that's been coming out of people, I've been wanting to clear corruption. So I was clearing stuff, and a bunch of them were showing quite a bit. Steve was showing quite a bit. Got Bernstein shoot huge amount over the past year. So was Mary Folio. Yeah, I remember when I put it out right away, Cyril Moore was making posts and throwing stuff. She tried to directly get other photographers involved to try to throw stuff at me as bullying. But what bullying looks like, if they're making it look innocent, but the intent is to bully, but they make it look innocent, they're still bullying. Okay? Yeah. That's the sort of stuff. So I find that it is described really weak people would act like that. That's also Brandon Jacobs. He did that at the one gym in Alberta. Of like, I'm using tension. I want you to see me. I want you to see me. You know what I'm doing. Other people will see it looks innocent. So if you come up to me and anything happens, it'll look like I didn't do anything. But the whole time you know what I'm doing. After he took part in a group psychic attack towards a spiritual attack. As in, like, that's probably going to trigger you if you see me. And, but there's always people here. And we have people off-site tuning into this psychically. So if you try anything, and I'll just use intent. So you see me, so they're trying to do one of these to provoke. Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy? That's who that fucking piece of shit is. But on the surface, it'd be like, it's innocent, Brant. No, he would never. That's who he is. He also tried to project onto me, mess with me when I was getting my ankle looked at with a ultrasound. To the point that, and I had what my trauma was at the time, I was having trauma responses, and the woman said, quote, Corey, you're scaring me. Are you all right? I was moving around so much. Yeah, was trying to fuck with me while I was having an ultrasound done on my ankle, and I had to hold really still. Yeah, so no one should ever say, oh, that poor guy Brandon, or he's just, holy fuck. Holy shit. I have no issue going right into more of what I've seen, who he is, and who his friends really are. Toxic, abusive pieces of shit. Weak fucking people. Very fucking weak people. And I have no issue saying that on video, mentioning that because what I've seen out of them, Chelsea Smith, what a weak piece of shit. Holy fuck. But on the surface, you will see people like her, or not like her, you will see her go out there and go, oh, like she makes nut butters, and she's out there in a farmer's market, and she teaches yoga, calls herself Mama Bear and all this. That same person, 3 group attacks towards me, tried to hold an attack on me. Well, it was like 4 or 5, no, I think 5 people tried to go at me. Tried to call on like Medusa and look at me in the tub. Was trying to do attacks at me when I was walking my dog. Attacked my one dog. Their friends also tried to mess with my other dog. Tried to throw markers on my parents. Tried to throw markers on my family's house. Lots of stuff that she's tried to bully me at that Staples. I was at a job where I was going to be photographing skyscrapers, and she tried to mess with me in the lobby psychically. Different businesses. I popped out to different areas in Alberta and Sherwood Park, Alberta. Even when I popped out to the mountains, okay, to literally go and heal from trauma, they tried to fuck with me out there. Yeah, we're trying to track what is he, where's he doing, what's he going. Yeah, not there's no one in her group that is these poor innocent people. It isn't. They are, and I have definitely hit back with different stuff to defend myself because I'm not going to be fucking abused and bullied by a group of weak, pathetic little people. I would say little people, weak, pathetic fucking people, which they are. That's Chelsea Smith. That's Brent Jacobs, his wife. Their friend Jacqueline took part in stuff that was trying to bully with, or it would. I'll say this. I'll say it. Um, they were going to try to use her. This is I don't even know. I'll get into this. It's so funny. They're like They're like kids. It's just there was the word hell she wrote on. This is Chelsea Smith on a light post. It's on my Instagram across the street from my vehicle. She wrote the word hell. And then on another post, said, "Be the change you want to be in the world." I think it was, but the intent behind it was bullying. Like I'm gonna throw something spiritual, but behind it, the intent was bullying. Threw a little picture of my car, and then wrote something else down the way there. Then they were trying to keep. They were trying to. Oh yeah. And I could pick up. They wanted me to do something in the physical. They even wanted me to post their pictures. Yeah. She got four people involved. Kicked my one car that I sold. Yeah. They are not anywhere near these. Oh yeah, we're this. Oh, holy fuck! Like some of the fakest fucking people I've ever seen, and that's why I mentioned about Brandon being gay because it's so to show the level of fake, insane fake. Him, his wife, Chelsea. I have seen her pull up on her bike at Moto Yoga, literally looking insane angry, and then just go throw the mask on, hey, like this, and I'm like, and I've seen that out of Brandon too. Not the anger, but I've seen the mask go on. It was crazy to see it. Of like 1 minute, like, wow, you can't stand me. And all of a sudden, oh, there's other people around, mask on. Hey, like, and I'm kind of like, oh god, that's crazy. Holy fuck, holy shit. And I sent someone to their teacher training, and I believe they had the same thing of like they could pick up on too. Of like, ooh, they knew between him and his wife. Very fake people, very fake people, very fake group, and birds of a feather flock together. Okay, that is one thing I've definitely noticed. They flock together. You see a couple really toxic people in a group, there's a reason. There's a reason. Anyone else in that group, you're going to see it. If you don't see it on the surface, it'll come out. So it's been weird. I don't know if I'll say weird, but when it comes out, things are already picked up on the people, and all of a sudden it comes out and you really see it. You're like, oh my god. So for Steve, I said the mental warfare thing. Holy fuck, that's exactly who he is. That's exactly who he fucking is. Don't at any point like, oh, loving kind. It's all fucking surface. It's all service. I'm a former ascended master. I've hit the 33rd dimension spiritually. Okay? Galactic conscious. I can pick up the stuff I can see in people. When I tell you, okay, this person, that's what is there. Whether you see it at the time or not, it comes up. It comes up. Just like I said for Sorrel, I was like, whoa, she's really vindictive. Really vindictive. And I knew at one point, I was like, whoa, her and Amber Valdez, they want to pull some arms towards me. They want to pull some stuff. And I found interesting when they pulled stuff towards me. So Amber Valdez, coach at the States, helping light workers, she was abused by narcissists, and I think she had more than one person try to harm her. Okay, and like abuse her. And I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, I know what narc abuse is like. Fuck that!" And I put some stuff out there to help her. Turns around and tried to throw shots about me on a post for no reason, and throw things out like, "What the fuck is going on here?" They're connected. Some of these groups, like she's connected. Something connected to what Sahara Rose, then that connects to Gal Bernstein, and it's just a group of like, what the fuck? Literally, what I've seen on the States, some of these people teaching spirituality, some of the things I've seen, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But you know how some of them do it? Put it on. Let's put it on. Hey guys, yeah. They could be saying one thing energetically, while on the surface it's like, hey, we made this post and it's like uplifting, and really it's like they're bullying and they're being toxic and abusive. Oh, but we made it look innocent. But there is the Akashic Records. There is the, no, I'm not going to get into it. I'll just say it's known. It's known. You could say source. You could say God knows. The universe knows. No, they're not fooling anyone with this. Where like, oh yeah, they have a real intent of make it look innocent because, oh, whoa. If I told people and they saw what they're doing, then they couldn't keep the, what they've built. They built that image. They built that fake to throw the mask on because they haven't done their shadow work, worked with the inner child, clear the darkness. So it turns out, something happens and that's thrown out there. So, anyways, there was bullying. I already said it before. Yeah, Sorrel Moore and Avril Des in there, and yeah, that feeling of like, wow, like you even wanted certain specific things said, or they go and they start making posts of abusive men, and the people that were being abusive as a group started to throw in as manipulation, throw in mental warfare and bullying stuff about posts about abusive men. Oh, look, here's a woman being abused. You see this? There's a post. A couple guys are trying to abuse this poor woman. Oh, do you see this? There is something about, yeah, Penn Badgley's out there in this video, and he's a serial killer, but he looks like a really nice guy. Oh, here's this person doing this and this, and I was like, the same women there. Oh, there's one, and it was mentioning if a woman about hitting women, and it was Sean Connery, and I was like, oh my god, the way some of the things that came up in the one interview. But those same women are the women that had no issue saying it wouldn't matter if you killed yourself because celebrities have mental health issues. So if what we're doing is bullying or any spiritual warfare towards you hurts you at all, it won't matter if you hurt yourself, if you kill yourself. Just that came from Mary Folio. Those same people turn around would make posts about, look at this with these guys, these abusive guys out there, and they're disgustingly fucking toxic women. That's how fucked up some toxic women are. They would literally go to that point. That's fucking crazy. Oh, and this is who they are, and they literally, and like, that is who they actually are. They have gone and done that stuff. Yeah. But there is, how many women are out there abusing the shit out of men or bullying men? I already mentioned Amber Colbert there, once one of my first teachers, literally bullied and yelling at her boyfriend because she wanted to be on top sexually. And she didn't get to have that, and she was hoping to hurt him a bit and have him give up power to her. And the guy had been sexually abused by another man when he was younger. And turned around and treated him like that. And then I found it was a pattern where she would try to hurt men a bit sexually and hoping that they would give up power to her. This is some of the stuff that has come up in the past couple of years that I've seen certain things come out of different women. I went, you have got to be fucking kidding me. If you saw Chelsea Smith before, you'd be like, oh, she's like a nice, but the shit that has come out of her is like, oh my fucking god. And I called it years ago. I said, there is a whole other side to her. And it's come out. It has come out. So, yeah. I mean, as far as the bullying, there's women that are, how they're treating men is just absolutely fucking disgusting. Elise Renew from Super-C was psychically suggesting dog shit to me. Chelsea Smith was, I saw psychically a glass, supposed to be her and maybe more of her friends, like spitting at me. They were suggesting stuff about ringing a bell at me, like conditioning an animal, and having people go, oh yeah. And a post from that one gym, it was Chop Shop, mentioning stuff about that to try to tie that together. There was that fake websites they put together, all sorts of stuff with that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I told female friends of mine, like, are you fucking, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? I said, no, that's who they are. They're actually pulling that. So it's kind of like, and these friends of mine are like Christ conscious level of spiritually, and they're looking at it, and I'm looking at it, it's like, oh my god, like, what the hell? And people in that group are at like 6 a minute. No, I don't know if I've seen any of them hit the 8th mention, maybe 7th-ish, whatever. And it's weird, I feel this feeling about, it's like, about mentioning that. Maybe because people will try to throw that in there in some way, but it does matter. It matters quite a bit. It's like, here's like, if somebody the entire planet's going to the 5th dimension. 12th dimension is Christ conscious. It's quite a big difference when somebody's reached that. So I don't like, one of my first teachers, it was Amber, and mentioned that you don't want to say, you might not want to say levels, but there is, hey, here's the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and go up. It is quite a big difference in the person. Quite a big difference. So it does matter. Consciousness, holy fuck, does it matter? And their vibration, it matters quite a bit. So if I was like, oh, somebody's acting like this, holy shit, they're about this level of spirituality. Yep, that's their consciousness. Oh, and then this person. And I'm not saying this as an out for people either, or if I see people try to twist that and go, oh, well, they're just at that state. It's like they had a fucking group together pulling abuse. abuse. Don't ever turn around like, oh, they didn't know better. There's people that are acting like, oh, I didn't, no, it wasn't me. It was like that attitude, like they've done things and acting like, no, I didn't. It was their shadow. There's their shadow coming out. Or there's people using revision. Steve Harrison, Mary Folio, Gavin Bernstein, Brian Jacobs and his friends, Joan Winsborg, Amber Colbert, Elisa Newford-Suit, that narc, and her friends, yeah, where they'd go and push something abusive, really toxic, and then try and use revision and revise it, and then throw something in there to maybe either get you laughing or some sort of thing, and then throw other shots. Yeah, so it's really abusive. So it's bullying, it's really abusive shit. Spiritual abuse, you could say in there too. Yeah, that's just fucked, and I don't respect that. And that's how it's weak people. Yeah, I consider that really weak. If they get a group together and pull that, including the thing online, when I started seeing that, having different spiritual accounts, trying to get people to post saying confusion and confused. Emerald Des even had one, I think, thrown in there about confused, and I was like, that's kind of fucked up considering she had the level of shit she went through with narc abuse, which I thought that was really fucked up. That you'd have any hop in as a group on any of that. If anything, if somebody actually, if I saw that and it was part of a group and they started, I would have turned at that group so fucking fast and ripped into them so fucking fast. They would have been going like, oh my god, I thought you're like, or I thought we were like, but, and I'd be like, fuck this, you're actually, oh yeah, I would have ripped into all of them, even if they were my friends. I would have completely ripped into them. You don't fucking turn around, especially when a bunch of those people know I was doing miracles for the planet, including their country. I have no issue doing that. And you know what's fucked? I was supposed to talk on a podcast about miracles. Mary Folio Gabrielsi tried to fuck with that. So wait a minute. I hadn't talked on that one. And that's the only one I said yes to. And meanwhile, I was supposed to talk about miracles, have been doing miracles, and they were trying to hide and take the shots they're trying to do and showing how fucking weak they really are and how they were taking shots. And meanwhile, I was supposed to go out there and literally talk about miracles on like it would have been with like a well-known TikToker, all this sort of stuff. And I do miracles. I've been doing years and years of stuff. Like, interesting. I just find that really fucked up. It's like, I know you're helping like a lot with this different stuff you're doing, but we're still going to try to throw shit at you. And then, oh, no, don't talk on that podcast. No, we don't. Maybe we don't. We're worried what you're going to say about us. We know you're doing those miracles, but we don't want you to bring up stuff. Are you going to say something like, oh my God, Epstein? What are you going to bring up? Oh, we know people connected to that. Yeah, you do, Mary. Yeah, you do. You know, 2 people connected to it. And, don't bring up that some of us are connected to some other stuff. Oh, you don't want me to bring stuff? You want to throw a ton of shit at me and you think you don't want me to bring stuff up? That's interesting. How does that work? There's cause and effect. Cause and effect. That's interesting. Or or Steve, or one of these guys, you guys want to run off to a different celebrity and throw shit at me and then have somebody post something, or so I go tell them this, and I'm going, do they realize at all that if you took part in a post that you guys were already pulling shit towards me as bullying or something abusive, and they literally were? Do they realize that? Do they know that? That that's what you guys were actually fucking doing? That's interesting. Yeah, it just, everyone's gonna know. That's it. Everyone's gonna know. Everyone. Anyone who pushed bullying at me past couple years, I haven't mentioned it on here I had this from a boss in Edmonton, Alberta, okay? I'm debating if I say it, because you know what's fucked? I feel like Brandon Jacobs wants me to mention it and get specific, because I feel like that he wants to use that at me. But there was a boss I had that tried to pull bullying towards me while I was processing trauma in Edmonton, and I was like, and spiritual warfare was coming at me, even at the job. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And the guy literally was trying to, I refused to take a 25-cent raise to manage it was a nutrition store, okay? Like, I was just getting back into something after like a bunch of, like, it was a bullshit job because I'd gone through so much fucking trauma. And it was right after coming back from literally a head tick, okay? And even a girl that worked there, I walked in, her eyes were flooding, her head was kind of going, and she was clearing trauma in my whole thought. And yeah, the guy, after I refused to take that, and that was like during COVID, He tried to just start pulling stuff. He tried to have other people show up that he knew from other stores, tried to stand really close to me, tried to show up at different times, walk in looking angry. He used to show up high too a lot. Yeah, smoking a lot of pot. Started to kind of show up walking very quickly in the store, but he wouldn't walk directly on and try to be like to the side or fucked things like this. Tried to go in the back room and kind of make noise and do stuff. Oh yeah, dragged his hand up and down the keyboard and kind of like looked over at me, grabbed a phone book and tried to rifle them. This is sort of stuff the guy tried to do one of these. Yeah, that's the fucking. You know what happened? I reported him to was it Better Business Bureau? Okay, that happened. I left. I'll say as far as bullying, I know if the level of trauma I had in me, if I had have gotten into him, it wouldn't have been good. If at that point something would happen, if I had have like really said something there, I probably would have been at the top of my lungs in his face, yelling in his face. With what I had in that level of trauma at that point, it would have gotten pretty bad. So I had left and reported him, and all the different. It turned out all the different. Managers stood up to him. They all stood up to him. And it was different, a bunch of them were women. It turns out the guy would like to take advantage of people, pay them a low wage. He would not even file, how would he do it? How he kept people around so he could quickly cut them out, okay? So there wouldn't be like the paper. I would say like I don't want to do it with my hand with that. Like as far as there wouldn't be, yeah, maybe in his system for his business. And there's people that worked for him that were still making around $15 an hour that were managers for like years and years and years. And I think they were like in their 40s or like high 30s, 40s. You're like, oh my God, like what the hell? Like you wanted to push someone to a management position and just give them like an extra 25 cents. And like it just, and then tried to turn on and act like that. Yeah, tried to stand too close behind this one long desk. I stood closer. That's what I did. I walked and got even closer. I'm like, oh, hey, I know exactly what he's doing. I put up boundaries when he walked in energetically. Pissed him off. He didn't know what was going on. I went, fuck this. Yeah, I could tell right away what he's doing. I was like, no, I'm not going to act like that way. And he just got angry. It's like directly trying to do this. You know what I'm doing. Yeah. Tried to look really angry look at my back with one of his friends while I was helping a customer. Just completely ignored him, helped the customer. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, having someone show up from another store, I think they owned another one, with a package, just looking like they're fuming at you. Yeah, let's see if we can try and intimidate. Fuck that. Except I'm a shaman. I'm touched by God, and I kind of went, interesting. Found that really fucking interesting. So then everyone stood up to him, and I later, when I saw jobs that when they're looking for people, the wage was up like over $5 an hour, maybe even $6, maybe more. So what he had to pay to get people, all of a sudden, all the managers stood up to him. And this is something when I mentioned, well, maybe I have to mention that another one. Yeah. So as far as the guy's name, the guy, he owns a couple of supplement stores out of Edmonton. I don't feel drawn necessarily saying it like here. Maybe I'll say it in another video. I'm kind of like this if I want to say the guy's name. But, and yeah, he used to show up pretty high.